Hello there, it's Chef Sammy. I am going to be breaking down the steps. So I need you to look at the ingredients list, tools, equipment, and then come back and start the video because I'm breaking it down. I'm going to go with the southern turkey leg first, then the homemade mashed potatoes, followed by the collard greens, and then the cheesy cornbread. All right, now what you're going to need is, of course, some turkey legs, a Cuisinart air fryer, digital toaster oven. You're going to need a pan that's large enough, preferably a disposable pan for your turkey legs. And then you are going to need some form of butter. I use the Tony's for this recipe. Okay, so what we are going to do is we need to make sure that we are washing our hands very thoroughly before we start. You are going to grab a bowl, preferably a stainless steel bowl. You're going to put your turkey legs inside of that bowl just to make sure that they are separated. Then we are going to take the turkey legs and we're going to put them inside of the pan to make sure that we are laying them out the way that we want them to cook. You can choose this way or whatever way you want your legs to face. All right. Grab your butter, and what you're going to do, you're going to fill up your syringe. Just follow the instructions, and you're going to grab each turkey leg, and you're going to inject each one at least 2 or 3 times to make sure that there is enough butter, because it is going to bake for 2 hours and you don't want it too dry. All right. If after you inject your turkey legs it doesn't look like this, you haven't injected enough. If you want to see a close-up of how to inject and where to inject your turkey legs, here's the picture for you. Then you're going to turn them the way that you want to turn them and go ahead and use some butter. What I did was I sprayed heavily with the butter spray. That's great value. And then I turned the turkey legs over and I sprayed the other side. And then this is where you're going to use your salt and your pepper and whatever other seasoning you want to use. And then you just wait for your turkey legs to cook. Of course, you can take a peek at them whenever you are baking them, just to make sure that you have it how you like it. So about at 2:53, this is what the turkey legs looked like, and then by 3:38 they were done. And now we just have to focus on getting ready for the homemade mashed potatoes, because that's a process. All right. You can pause this video, take a break or whatever, and then we're going to get right into making the homemade mashed potatoes. I hope that you enjoyed your break, and now it is time to go ahead and make the homemade mashed potatoes. You are going to need a 5-pound bag of yellow potatoes, 5 potatoes for the recipe, some chives, some garlic powder, butter, pepper, salt, a cutting board, a paring knife, a bowl, as well as water, a colander, a KitchenAid mixer, and a Rubbermaid container. All right, now what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and cut up your potatoes how you see them, and then you're going to put them inside of a bowl. You're going to fill the bowl up with the water slightly above the potatoes. It's going to look like this. And then you're going to go ahead and you're going to boil the potatoes until they're soft enough to put a fork through. And then that's when you are going to take your colander, put it in the sink, go ahead and pour your potatoes in there, and that's when you are going to go ahead and put your potatoes inside of the KitchenAid mixer with your butter, and you're going to go ahead and let that continue to mix around. It looks delicious, doesn't it? It's going to continue to combine. Make sure that you put your guard on, because otherwise your butter is going to fly out of the mixer. Then we go ahead and we're going to add our milk in. And then grab your seasonings, your salt, you're going to put that in first. And then we are going to use, of course, as well as the garlic powder. And what you're going to do is just make sure you pour in enough. You know, some people have hypertension, some people don't, so you don't want to put too much seasoning there. And then pour in your chives. And you can use fresh chives if you want to. Paprika, pepper. And then you're going to continue to let the mixer mix in the mashed potatoes. And then finally, it'll be ready to go. You put it in a Rubbermaid container with your scoop spatula, and you set it to the side and go ahead and check on whatever you're waiting on. The collard greens are going to take 1 hour and 38 minutes. What you're going to need is an Instapot. If you don't have an Instapot, then you might not be able to follow along with this recipe. Some collard greens, apple cider vinegar, paprika, some kosher salt, some black pepper. I scratched the bouillon cube after the fact, so you don't need that. Some Jimmy Dean's bacon, and a cutting board and executive knife, because you want to make sure that you cut out the bacon. So you're going to go ahead, you're going to cut that bacon up nicely, and set it to the side. Of course, wash your hands in between. Then you're going to turn your Instapot on to the saute setting. You're going to put your bag of greens inside of there. Then you're going to wait for it to finish sauteing and go ahead, add your pepper, your salt, your apple cider vinegar, your paprika, and your bacon. And then you're going to turn on the soup setting. Now, the reason why I'm doing the reason why, of course, I'm letting the Instapot do the work is because it was snowing. And I had just noticed it, so I didn't want to be in front, recording things and stuff like that and missing out on that moment. But yeah, an hour and 38 minutes, and you have collard greens that taste better than your grandmother ever made. But yeah, stay tuned for the cornbread. All right, let's make some cheesy cornbread. What you are going to need is a 8.5 by 11-inch baking pan, a bowl, some butter spray. I used the Walmart Great Value. 2 boxes of honey Jif mix, 2 eggs. You're gonna need milk, which is 2/3 of a cup, and sharp cheddar cheese. Now, this is how I do it. I know people do it differently. Go ahead, take your bowl, put your Jiffy mix into the bowl, crack your 2 eggs, whisk those eggs up while the mix is dry. Then you're going to add 2/3 of a cup of milk, and you're going to go ahead and whisk that together. Then grab 5 handfuls of cheese and then whisk that together. And then you're going to spray your 8.5 by 11-inch baking pan very well. And then go ahead and pour your cornbread batter into the 8.5 by 11-inch pan. And then bake it on whatever the box tells you to bake it on. And then you have your cheesy cornbread. This is absolutely delicious. Well, the honey works better than the regular Jiffy mix. Well, I hope that you enjoyed this, because I sure did. Oh, and by the way, if you take the cornbread and you put it in one of the Rubbermaid containers into the refrigerator, make sure that you tighten the lid, and all you have to do is just put it in the microwave for about 45 seconds, and it's still delicious. Okay? Now, since everything is ready to go, all you have to do is just go ahead and plate your southern turkey leg with your collard greens, cheesy cornbread, and mashed potatoes. Thank you so much for being patient with me during this video, and I hope that you enjoy. This is the end of the video. Okay.